ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Logitech G, Pay Safeguard, TheScoreEsports.com, G2A, NVIDIA, and ESEA.
Welcome back and good evening to the ESL Pro League. I'm once again joined by Yanko, and we're going to be talking about our final game of the night. It is going to be battled out on a map we haven't seen yet. It's going to be Inferno between mousesports and Dignitas. That cobble was a very close affair, though, overtime, and this time going the way of Dignitas, which is a big change from the last two cobblestones these guys played, which was like 16-4, 16-3 in favor of Dignitas. So mousesports definitely seem to be performing much better, as do some of their individuals here in the Pro League.
Yeah, it was a very weird game. Also, the fact that Nico was always by himself, lurking away from the team. I'm not really sure if that's something that they want to do, or is it maybe they don't want to reveal their true game a couple of days before the major. But yeah, Dignitas won that game fair and square, and now we're moving to Inferno, which is interesting since mousesports only played it once this year, and it was in DreamHack Malmo qualifiers where they actually managed to beat G2 after overtime.
So perhaps we've got an awful lot to look forward to with this Inferno. Maybe mousesports a little ace up their sleeve.
And also, looking at Dignitas on Inferno, it's a map they didn't play that much last year, and starting this year, they started, picking it up a bit, but they actually are not as good on it as on Mirage or Cobble. You could see it at the major qualifiers. They kind of lucked out by getting that map in the game versus Renegades by the randomizer, right? And they lost on it 16-9 to Renegades, pretty straightforward. And watching that game, I remember seeing how their, movement around the map isn't as crisp, isn't maybe as clear cut as it is on some of the other maps. So it's going to be interesting to see how these two teams fare off.
Returning to the point about Nico lurking on Cobble, hasn't it always been seen as something like a mousesports strategy where they do leave Nico alone on T side sometimes, like overpass maybe near Monster, they leave him towards B and like they construct something towards middle, letting him try and find something? Is that not the same kind of
I feel it depends on the map more. Right. On overpass, yes, he goes water by himself, tries to get an aim duel because he's, Nico has a good chance of winning that, right? But on some of the other maps like Mirage, he's the guy going around mid area, right, in that default, trying to get an entry kill there, giving info to his. So it depends. In the end, I just feel he might be better utilized on Cobble than that.
Elsewhere. But I mean, going into Inferno and diving a little deeper into this one, how have mousesports gone this long without playing Inferno? I don't know. But more so to the team that we have seen on Inferno more often than Dignitas. We always kind of criticize them as having a few maps that they're capable of. Inferno isn't one of them. You always kind of say Cobble and Mirage are their strengths. How weak are we talking then? What is the difference? What's the difference between a strong, a Dignitas Cobble and say a Dignitas Inferno?
I mean, it takes a lot to become good on a map, right? Because simply it starts off with, are your players willing to play that map? Do they feel comfortable on it? Can you define the roles on that map as easily as you can on the other maps? Also, figuring out how the map works by itself. How do you take control of Banana? How do you take control of apps? How do you react, on the CT side if the Ts are doing something and so on. So there is a lot coming into, becoming good on a map. And then after all of that, you need to figure out the timings, when do you go for each strat and so on. So it's a work in progress, I would say. And it's a map that Dignitas didn't play, both teams didn't play. Like going back to Gamescom last year, mousesports notoriously didn't play Inferno. We all remember the Gobby's reaction to when he was left to play Inferno, right? But they picked it up, definitely. Had some mixed results on it. So the G2 game at Cluj, at the major in Cluj, right? Dignitas, on the other hand, did beat Envious on it in Lithuania, but they had a win there and against Flipside, and that's it out of the Tier 1 or Tier 2 teams.
And so with that said, quick prediction from you, Yanko. You still believe this could be going the way of Dignitas a second time, or you got some faith in Mouse?
This one is pretty unpredictable. I would have to go with mousesports on this one, simply because I feel that, I don't know. I just feel. I know that
sounds. That's a rarity from Yanko.
I'll go with. I know Nico is comfortable on this map. He plays banana on the CT side, and he's pretty capable of holding the banana by himself and allowing his teammates to go towards A to play 4A and so on. So maybe that would be something that would.
Okay, so we've got a bias prediction from Yanko there, basically on the premise that his pal is good at it. Now, though, we are going to be going to your casters. It is going to be Inferno, our final game of the night. We hope you enjoy, and to guide you through it, it's going to be Pansy and Uber. Take it away, you two.
Thank you for that prelude, gentlemen. And maybe Yanko might just be right. I think it's actually a fair prediction to make in most cases. But this might have been mentioned as well. This is only a map that was played for mousesports once this year in the Malmo qualifiers. Actually lost to G2, though, in a tiebreak. Yanko, get it right, mate. But there's a knife round for mousesports, pretty comfortably across. And
everyone's getting very edgy tonight.
That's
Mitch.
it. We're
all edgy.
I'm not 6 edgy, 5 you at least.
6 edgy, 5 me.
Here we go, though, of course. This is Inferno. We're going to be jumping in, and we're looking at headshot percentages now as well. It's quite interesting. Nex and Rubino both quite similar in that one. And yes, you can see mousesports not playing a heck of a lot of Inferno, but maybe they've got some secret special tactics tucked away for us. Maybe they were saving them for later on, bigger tournaments, but they might have to show them here. We'll see.
Yeah, again, they could do with some victories now during the Pro League, but not exactly the biggest worry for them right now. Maybe a couple more events on the horizon they're going to be keeping their eyes on, but you got to come up with something in these at the end of the day. So we're going to have 2 utility players coming out for Dignitas here, which will be MSL and Config. P250 for Config there, and that's about it. So smokes and flashes galore on the other side. We do have Spiddy being that player, and it looks like Dig are doing pretty much the Glock train towards B at the moment. Pop flash towards the corner. They're going to try and exploit where Nico was. He's fallen back pretty well here, but flashed up again. Has to retract back to side. And it's down to Dennis to hit some shots here, but it's Nico again doing the damage.
Nico gets traded in, though, there, and Dennis not able to do too much before having to back away here. You've got Dennis, Spiddy, and Nex all coming from different angles here, and Nex has to get this frag if he wants to get any sort of egress across towards that side. But Config's going to make it very, very hard for him. Kirby even joining as well, so putting 2 players into that one just to try and shut that down. Great flash, and Config picks that one up. Now Dennis and Spiddy working onto the side, coming out of construction here as well. They have to try and clean Rubino off before his backup comes, but he's just trying to hold up for as long as he can, and Rubino actually gets the kill. And that's Spiddy in a 1v3 to try and keep his round in it. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, Config I absolutely love that flash as well. I don't know if we caught it. That went down to Banana just off the little wooden beam above him. Really nice little pop flash, just gave him the chance to get the shot. So Dignitas, I called it a Glock train. Excuse me, there was a P250, of course, in there, but just overwhelmed. Nico was pretty much flashed out for the entirety of that. He still got 1, but eventually just got taken down. And was it Spiddy who was with him?
Yes.
Yeah, and Spiddy just didn't hit.
Oh, it was Dennis, I think,
it
actually.
might have been
was
Dennis,
back on the
yeah.
side.
I don't think Dennis was able to hit much either, which is a problem. So, again, good stuff from Dig, just very quick, just dirty play almost, you know what I mean? It was just like, just go to the site, see what we can do, done. And again, now mousesports. Going for the force up. We've got the 5-7. Deagle with a bit of armor. CZs here and there, and a couple of nades. What if they're going to go for a deep nade somewhere? Who are they on? Nex and Chris J. They could go for a nade down mid if they fancy it, but actually a little late to be doing that now, so probably not going to be the case. And Dig just going to go to what seems to be a default on Nico with that Deagle. Rattles off a shot straight into the brain of Rubino.
He does well to back away there as well. Just as well, the man had some armor on him, but still will slow down Dignitas a little bit more. It's just Tensky now and Banana, but the main news is this. It's Kirby trying to make his way into apartments. Config and MSL are teasing at mid as well, so perhaps a chance here for Kirby to get past. Spiddy is drawn away towards the opening of Boiler now. That's it. Kirby does come up at the right time, but MSL drops for that one. And mousesports are trading into this round pretty effectively. Dennis and Nico can rotate through here. If Dignitas don't make a move soon, they may just have to pull out and go for B.
Yeah, Tensky has the option to try it out. It's like, do I want to take on Nico with a Deagle? Well, they don't want to leave the guns away, so they've probably hidden those out. Now, Kievi's going to take the fight, gets it done cleanly, but there's a lot of threats on this site. You can't clear out these corners too safely. As seen, Chris J's just tucking himself into pit, maybe looking for that, for the apps push out. You have Dennis just watching for his cross, but then you leave CT Arch open. So again, it's where they take it. Kievi going towards, apps is pretty much giving away the game here. That means it's going to come down towards A, but they're going for a wrap, trying to put those rifles to good use. Now Kievi knows there's one in pit. He needs to find Chris J pretty quick. They've got no ones in sight. They spot Dennis, don't take him down though, and now it's clear. Good work from Kievi to get that done. But now Nico's on the rotate. A little late, but he had to make sure that no one's going to lurk back round. And Kievi's on for the ace, bearing in mind. He's been clearing this out very nicely for himself. And Nico already finding one with a Deagle. That rifle is like the treacherous bit of bait. Picks it up. They now know where he is. And he gets shot down.
Yeah, I guess Dignitas not bothering to think about B there, even after losing 2 players. They had the weapons and Nico had to split over towards B. There was always going to be a possibility of a rotate, but Dignitas just pressed forward. Lost quite a few in that round, of course. Kirby had to do a heck of a lot to get Dignitas over on towards that side. But at the end of the day, job done for Dignitas. Get that second round now. And again, Spitty wants to go for that Zeus. I can't figure out if that's like a tick or it's an accident or something like that, because he's bought nothing else.
It's a one-shot close enough. You know what I mean? And considering Dignitas are bringing rifles to the playground, I guess it's fair. But we're going to see like a kind of like a fake out towards CT Arch, and they're going to get pretty punished for that. MSL's going to get taken down. Perfect flash. Dennis, please hit the shot. Thank you, Dennis. Takes down Tensky, but will back away. This is costing rifles, bearing in mind. So this actually isn't bad damage being done at all. MSL was the only one with the SMG here. And I think Config's just hidden that rifle over the fence, so that's unrecoverable now. And they've only got the Mac 10, so still. Spitty's got that Zeus there. We've got the CZ with next. And they have to play retake, and that's going to be extremely difficult.
mousesports expecting to be in this position there as well. They're probably happy enough to trade 1 for 1, especially when the investment has been relatively low. But Chris J has a Mac 10. Next has a CZ as well. If they can get up close and personal with Dignitas, it could be a very different story as to maybe what is written here. But Kirby will be watching in towards CT. That smoke is about to expire. He's not going to see a whole lot as well. It might be his time just to pull out of the site and be done with it here. Maybe he has a parting gift. He might be able to spray down towards next. And he does get treaded in. Spitty picks him up again. So that's what Mouse are looking for. And they'll be able to keep that rifle. There's no way that Dignitas can... Or not. Bomb will claim Chris J and put the rifle back on the ground.
It's unfortunate. If they kept that, that would have been really, really nice. But again, this is the thing though. Dignitas' money's going to be good enough here anyway, even though they've been kind of like going in heavy on these rifles. But Chris J going straight in on the AWP as well. So here we go. Not a bad spawn either for Chris J. Would he be brave enough to go for that insta-peek? It is Chris J after all. No. It was kind of like lining up for what could have been that flash, but doesn't have one. Listening out for the footsteps. Or just cheating.
One or the other.
I absolutely kid before. Pansy accuses Chris J. No. But yeah, good play from Dennis. A little bit one-dimensional there, but he's going to do the close pop flash over the top. Going to blind him up. Nico takes the peek towards the car, allows the cross out, and the damage is done again. Mousesports doing good work early on, but Tensky, once again, they're hiding so many rifles throughout this map, you know what I mean? It's like every round, it's like throwing one over here, one over there. And Dig now have a lot of utility left, but not a great deal of HP. They can molly out some of these corners to clear it, but Christian's already back pretty passively, so they need like a deeper smoke, which is what we're going to get now. That comes through, so now they're going to be a little bit paranoid. Have they gone CT Arch? Don't know where they're going in this one, removing some vision, but they're still next in Spitty and Pit. And Christian holding passively now in Library.
Tensky just inching his way across there as well. Dennis will just sit up here in case there's maybe any wrap around towards B, but it's more likely that Config and MSL will try and test in towards Library, so there's a little bit of Overwatch potential there for Dennis. Great little pick there as well. Flash barely affected Chris J. It was a tight angle. Wasn't well and truly away from that one, but now he's going to be smoked out and isolated. So Kirby going to push into the pit, but there was 2 players ready to receive him. Tensky will also fall eventually. So mousesports sensibly play out those first 3 rounds, just try and get what they can, and there is that first round off the bye.
Well, they weren't fooling anyone after they, kind of left the option open. There could have been a CT split as Dennis was waiting there, right? So Dennis was in a good position, and as soon as he saw so absolutely no one cross towards B, Chris J instantly locks in on it. You got the players being super passive in towards Pit, saying, "Guys, you got to come to us," and they kind of like ground to a halt. They weren't able to put that utility into place and actually push any of the areas they needed to. So now down to the pistols. I'm gonna hear a couple of deep nades come through, and that certainly does connect towards Rabino, but not much more to follow. And again, if they get anything out of this, it's a real benefit. A plant would be perfect, but a little bit maybe overwhelming. But MSL on with armor does actually manage to find a rifle. With 14 bullets, he decides to sit on a nade. Yeah,
unfortunate. I think he was going to try and just use those last 12 points of health up the back of the flash and see if he can luck a kill, but not going to be the case. Well thrown nade there, and now Nico now having to defend on this B side. The spray is damn good, and Dennis is also going to be off from the side there. Very, very hard, of course, for Dignitas to get to grips with mousesports there as well. And, Dignitas, off the back of the pistol, lose the first gun round, had to go straight back to pistols, and that's let mousesports get within 1 round. And probably pretty back and forth here now. Let's see what the CT side of mousesports looks like. Let's see what they can give themselves buffer-wise into the next half.
Okay. What do they go for in this? So now there's that pop flash for Chris J if he wants to do it. Gives him the angle into mid to clear that close left corner. No one there. So it's either second mid or B, basically, at this point, or maybe someone sitting down by kind of underpass. And next Gonna hear these kind of pieces dropping. That bomb being dropped on the floor will be heard. Spiddy's watching the cross, but it being smoked means it's still dangerous, but he has faith. And now he's seeing Tensky and Rabino come back around. So the T-side trying to work for that apps control. Not going to give it over early, mousesports. They like to stay present, but eventually Dig will claim it. And that means that they maybe could make a play towards A. You know, they can actually get control towards Pit, but this time they have no mollies to clear it out, so it becomes a bit of a danger. And again, look at Nico already rotating over. He's heading over towards A, so 4 players here. mousesports reading this well, unless Dig turn tail and decide that this isn't a good idea. We've had no information found, no real benefit to this, and it might be a slow play over towards B again.
Nico almost anticipating that, though, as he is just working his way leisurely over in
Nico.
the direction of B. Cheating himself across. Here's the 4-man push from Dignitas as well, straight up banana. Let's see how much they commit to this one. Nico flashed there in CT, having to give up ground, and that's actually let Rubino across, and the smoke as well will obscure view. So not much Nico can do. It's on Dennis for a little while until Nico can get in position, and he's holding as well as he can from the corner, but Rubino eventually mows him over. There's Nico. They're the second line of defense. Will it be enough? Yes, the spray does claim Kirby, and elsewhere MSL fell to Nex. So mousesports able to work this retake fairly nicely. Rubino just has to go for a poke and hope to construct something else from it. He's going to flash Config through. And Config just gets slapped down by Chris J, and Rubino now might just have to go into Dennis' spot there and try and hold on for as long as he possibly can. But it is a matter of time. Chris J not peeking the correct spot there. Rubino getting the jump on him from that little spot. But again, he will be finally cut down. And mousesports bring it even here after losing the pistol. They brought it back. First gun round from mousesports, definitely convincing. In this round, no different.
Yeah, teammates as well. Every single player getting a kill each.
That's what we like, isn't it?
Yeah, sharing is caring. 3-3 now. And all the gun rounds going Mouse's favour. So that's the more enjoyable factor of this one, is that we are seeing some really nice plays, some good reads from the rotates from Nico, being in the right place at the right time. No overextension from mousesports. Also quite a passive setup though. Yet to see Chris J go for like a Chris J-esque play, I guess, at this point.
Do it.
No. It's deadly against these sort of things. Again, trying to listen out for sound, see if he hears steps either side so he can kind of push himself to the right place. Gonna molly out, back away. And again, this is gonna be quite a difficult round. It looks like Dig are gonna do the kind of like just burst out maybe balcony, smoke the balcony and just jump out if they can. But the problem is that Spiddy's already possibly considering this. And he is eyeing this up so perfectly. So first player out, they're gonna try and pour out of it. Actually, Config finds Spiddy, Tensky finds Nex. This is ridiculous. You should not be winning that fight. And Chris J misses it. Kirby punishes. And now suddenly, look at what we have.
Kirby just smashed him there as well. 8 points of health. Tensky had 9, so unfortunately the spray down from the mousesports players not quite enough. And yeah, it's all well and good, Lauren, to be ready for the push, but if you're just going to spray wildly and not actually able to get the kill, this is what position you're going to find yourself in. Now, Nico, deliberating on his next move here. The mousesports economy, the budget is not yet solidified, so yeah, one and done. Going to back away. Dennis only on 2 points of health as well, so we won't see any more of him this round. And Dignitas, actually, even this round was just a bit of a force into Tech 9s and Sundry, and they hadn't actually had a gun round, a proper full gun round, since round 3. So sustained well, gave a few over to mousesports, but now they break back with one more. Convincing push through apartments there as well. mousesports not ready for that.
Kind of insane that can even happen. I don't know. Especially when you're already predicting that that's the play. It's just even more frustrating imagining that it happens and you're sort of like, how did I lose that? I don't know. It's what it is. But now you can see, because of those guns saved, they can force around it. They're not too bad for money. They're not ideal, but not too bad in the end. They'll be doing a 3-play stack towards B. Probably Chris J just going to head over there with the AWP this time. And Nico looks sad and confused as to, Chris J, why did you take my spot? But actually he's just probably listening out for sound on towards Speedway. So again, Chris J can take the angle. Early mollies go down. No one going to push off the back of it. And mousesports just have to kind of play this calm. See where Dignitas go now. They're, got a little caught out before. Nice to see that they're adapting a touch here.
Playing it slow through mid. Now is this Dennis and Chris J chomping at the bit to try and make something happen down Banana. And, well, Chris J's going to miss that first shot. It's not going to be any good. Dennis not really able to make good on himself. He just gets completely belted. And now Nico smoking his way, of course, yeah. A bit of a spray down. Yielding absolutely nothing. He'll have to be a little bit careful about his way through construction. He's going to get there at the very least. And MSL also lurking on the backside. Might be able to catch Nex if he takes his sweet time. But it is Nico. And Nex trying to work through this one here.
MSL just gets the information spent. He doesn't want to give away his position because it can be so much more vital. He can be sat pretty perfectly for the if someone tries to defuse. But I think they might have an idea. Maybe no, they definitely do not. MSL takes down 2. And no guns can be kept for mousesports that round. And a little bit of an overextension from maybe Dennis and ChrisJ. Dennis was not really able to support ChrisJ once that overwhelm came through. ChrisJ was kind of left there, you know, like a spare thumb at that point. It was just...
Well, it was the other way around. I guess it was that ChrisJ missed the shot, then got picked, and then Dennis was like, got 1. Unfortunately, the rest of Dignitas were already there.
Yeah.
All right, Nico. Why don't you take your anger out on the other team, mate, huh? Peter will be incredibly upset. Anyway, Molotov in towards Nico, forced him straight out of position now. Oh, he's hit sandbags, it looks like it. On MSL, looking to test ChrisJ, who wasn't able to do too much there at all either. Spitty again buys himself a Zeus, so I have to imagine that he plans to do something with it, but it's money spent every round for Spitty when he buys it, and I haven't seen him use it yet.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It is a super situational gun, I guess, but and quite a light investment. But again, I'm not sold
If
on
you need
it.
to jumpstart your car, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Often what I think of when playing CS, like, what would happen if I needed to jumpstart my car? But yeah, a bit of a shame that we haven't got to use. It's always great because I love the little yelp that gets let out when you actually do someone. Is it time? Is it time? Yes, it's time! He gets a gun for it. See, it's ingenious, Mitch. How didn't you see that coming? It's the best play in the world.
Such low investments for such great gain, Lauren, and comedic value. But he's going to be surrounded in a second, so all of Spitty's heroics there with the Zeus got to be nullified there as he gets taken down. The gun that he clutched so possessively to his breast will spill with the rest of his blood, and it's Dignitas up by 3 rounds here. That's some grim simile use there. That's fine. And let's see now what mousesports go for, of course. The buy now for them. No ChrisJ AWP, and to be fair, he's had some unsuccessful rounds with it. So he's going to go away for it for now. See if he can hold solid with the M4.
They're going to do a little boosty. I like that.
Is it going to be the super boost? 3 players? No? Okay.
Nah. Just going to pop 1 up, 1 down below as well. And ChrisJ probably waiting to see if someone pushes out of balcony more than anything. So, to be fair, Dignitas do like to get at least MSL pushing this, so a secure pickup probably towards him, but now he can see the push. Lovely positioning. Should be the rest now to pick up the pieces, which was next below. Finds Kievi. The last 2 players have been those pressuring the B side, but the bomb is down by quad, so again, nicely done by Mouse. Good adaptation, good little change up there. Leaves Rabino and Tensky in the 2v4.
Yeah, throw in the quad boost generally helps for that 1 round. Wouldn't be trying to repeat it again, but Rabino there trading. Not really ideal when you're 1 of 2 players left, and as Tensky now needs to just pressure a little bit more here. Surprising, actually, that he didn't get pushed. ChrisJ would have a crack at him there, but no, he's going to have to back away. The bomb's sitting at quad, so ChrisJ is just going to sit on that to his heart's content. Tensky again looking. Sees the bomb. Sees no mousesports players. Goes in the other direction instead, but Nico's already got himself on towards the side. He wrapped around. Ready to just double stack. This little angle here as Tensky wants to go for it. It's very low success rate, of course, for this kind of play. I'm sure you can agree with me there, but Tensky peeks out, gets ChrisJ, but Nico cuts him down.
That shot, where was ChrisJ? Was he in pit or behind the truck?
Behind the truck.
That was a sick shot, though, from Tensky's been hitting a couple of these, like little like snapshots.
I like how he worked the angle,
Like, look
piece
at
by
this.
piece.
That's nuts.
Yeah, it was really nice.
It's a really nice little shot. He
And then
couldn't adjust well.
It
But
all went to bollocks after that one, but that's okay.
it went to what?
Bollocks.
That's rude.
It's not.
Yes, it is. Alex is saying naughty words. You know when we said, you know, that you're not 6 edgy 5 me like,
No,
like Alex is?
those circular bales of hay are called bollocks. I'm from.
You're just a
They're they're
really bad liar.
It's just they get left in the paddock, right? And like farmers
Mitch,
have to check their temperature
Mitch.
because they might burst into fire
Stop
during the summer.
lying.
They're called bollocks. I'm telling you.
You're
Look
just
it up.
making things up
Look
now.
it
It's
up.
unbelievable.
Look it up.
Like these lies. And that's what you're referring to.
Look it
Hey.
up. Absolutely. Went to hay. What does hay do? Not a lot. Greets itself and then that's it.
Oh, God. Save me. When I'm the most professional one today, there's a real issue.
I have no idea what
Actually,
you're
no,
talking
Yanko
about.
might be winning that one. Unless we leave an open mic
well.
on. Like, if we leave an open mic for an additional 2 seconds, you don't know what you're
Well,
going to
we
hear.
got a good little quip at the start of the show, actually, that made me laugh, so I don't know.
We're all down.
No one's winning
This one.
trophies for being the most prudish, Lauren. Come on.
No, we're not. But again, Dignitas full utility here. So I want to see something better. I want to see like a constructed piece maybe. They do have themselves by second mid, so they could be doing like a nice smoke set piece towards maybe quad or like down towards pit.
Are you saying I can't say balls on stream either?
Huh?
Are you saying I can't say balls on stream either? Isn't it the same thing?
I'm just saying, Mitch.
What?
If you want to talk about testicles, do it on your own time.
I just said balls.
Do it on your own time. Bring it back in line, Jason Kaplan.
Oh god, yeah, don't you even start. Tensky now will press forward. Flashing towards CT there in a smoke, so might even go through it as well and get the wrap on. And it's going to work. Chris J just gets completely blown backwards by that salvo of AK-47. Fire at Spitty. Now back in pit. They've got 2 players there. mousesports. Can they hold off the onslaught, though? That's the question. Spitty gets his second. Can he get another one? No. Rubino gets through. Dignitas suffered a lot of casualties to get this position, but it's worked. They have a 3v2, and the bomb is down.
Yeah, and sadly for Nico and Dennis, they're known to be the B players. They know they're the BGO, and it's not exactly going to be an easy step back in. So they're going to just back themselves away, keep hold of these rifles. Not exactly well set at the moment, but nice stuff from Dig. Very, very late play. Very, very passive late play coming out. Not exactly going for those fast, quick hits anymore. A little bit slower, and it almost kind of got undone by that double pit play coming through. I think it was Spitty playing in like the corner of the pit, actually making it very, very costly in the end, picking up the 2 players, but no one else was close by. And Dignitas should be able to save these weapons, as will the remainder of Mouse.
Rubino just survives that, actually. Keeps his AK. mousesports with the 2-gun save. Not something we saw them a lot from them earlier on. But they go for it this time, of course, and it makes good sense, because that's the money situation for you, ladies and gents. Dignitas as well. Just not really bothering with an AWP. MSL seems to be very, very, very capable of just working that AK as well.
Well, Inferno T-side doesn't really ever allow for very much AWPing, if I'm honest, unless you're like one of those ridiculous players. You get out of there, JW and such, but Nico's going to have the perfect opportunity here, Mitch. This could be massive.
He's going to get himself behind sandbags, though, as well. So if Dignitas read this, it could be all over for the Nico man. It's a flash, forcing him back. A lot of utility being spent here. Dignitas have plenty more to follow, so Nico is going to make the sensible decision and return to site. Spitty next here, grouped up. Definitely want to stop any sort of aggression in towards apartments. And Dignitas have gained this position now. It's going to be a bit more of a standard B hold here.
But they're going towards the 2 rifles up at the moment. They know that, excuse me, Nico and Dennis were the 2 who kept the rifles. They instantly bang it towards B, and what a surprise. There's 2 rifles.
Well, again, who's to say if they passed them around as well at the start of the round? It's quite likely to see reallocation of rifles and stuff when you don't have many, so maybe a coincidence, who knows? Who knows what's going on in the heads of Dignitas right now? Probably something to do with Let's Go B, still. And there's going to be a rotating. There was a player, it was Chris J, made his way towards B amongst that little bit of a lull. So there's going to be 3 for mousesports here. No. Dennis and Chris J pull completely off the side there. They think something's happening at A, but Nico cuts that MSL, but he goes down. And now they're going to have to get the heck back to B. And Config trying to spray down through the smoke, but maybe you'll just go for the plant as Chris smoke clears it. Possibly the best time ever. Quite fortunate for him. Stops the plant for now. Dennis just sort of stands out in the open looking for a target, doesn't find one, and now we'll actually have a plant. I don't know, mousesports got a little bit too antsy and left that B side a little bit too early.
Again, though, this is a really good T side from Dignitas. We're starting to see this becoming seemingly more common for them. I don't know what it is. It's like they picked up the pistol, which is really good initially, obviously. Once that first gun round came in, then you saw, all right, the string of mousesports. Like, okay, they look good here. You know, Chris J with the AWP being dominant. We saw the lockdown towards B being pretty good. Spitty being a massive impact in a couple of those rounds in pit, being quite passive. But as soon as that seemed to be worked out, Dignitas were able to start abusing it a little bit more. We saw some of these really close rounds again being kind of exploited. And it's been Rubino and Kiebi having a good game. Kiebi's been pretty much on point throughout both maps so far, having a really good game for himself. Config a little quieter than maybe I'd expect, but doesn't seem to matter at the moment. 4 to 8. 4 plays to 8 in favour to Dignitas at the moment. They're pretty well set here, and they can reinvest quite readily at this point, whereas you look at mousesports, their money is so dire.
Yeah, it's looking like a pretty well-polished T side from Dignitas, and conversely, a little bit of a rusty CT side from mousesports here. So far behind the 8 ball now with Dignitas going onto the gun, and they've got nothing but pistols. Definitely not a good sign, so we have to hope for big things from mousesports next half, but Nico already being cut down very, very low. Bit of attention towards A as well. That's Config gets the entry on towards next. Kievi just being careful not to take down his teammate. And they continue to press forward as well. Gain that ground. Chris J trying to be cute with some peeks here. Jig might be up in a few moments. No, Spitty comes in there with a CZ. So Pukin has Rubino and Tensky still working at B. So looks like the bomb will probably hook around to A care of Tensky. Rubino will stay and catch Nico as he tries to cross. And it's just Dennis v Rubino. Dennis is going to have to be hunted down here by mousesports. He's got himself an AK. MSL looks like he's drawn that straw, whether it's a short one or the biggest one, I'm not sure. Don't know what he'd prefer to be doing. Maybe he drew the straw from a bollock in the field.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
There it is, MSL does spray him down, and that is 9-4 for Team Dignitas. No rifle maintained for mousesports, unsurprisingly. They get some of their own, though.
I don't know what to say to you, Mitchie, for shouts, Leslie. You used to be such a good person. You used to be so professional. And then you finally came to see us go and it's all falling apart. What is this?
I don't understand.
It's just the swearing. Like, do you...
It's not a swear word.
Why do you feel the need to be edgy? I just don't understand it, you know?
my
Like,
God.
people will appreciate you for who you are. But here we go. Aggressive play on Banana coming out again from the T side initially, but it's been met every time by Nico being aggressive, but there's no one to trade it out with, and he's isolated and left alone and gets picked up.
Losing Nico already, mousesports. Not a great start for them here. MSL has made his way forward, but Chris Stray gets the tight angle on towards Config. He knows he's going to be pressed in a moment. Misses that first shot on MSL. Lucky there. Does get the spray down. Takes a few more bullets than he perhaps would have intended, but it gets the job done nonetheless. And now Dignitas collapse on towards this A side, but Spitty, again, always featuring with one or two important frags, but it's not quite enough to keep Mouse in the game generally. Dennis, though, had the rotate, and this could work out quite nicely. Rubino going towards B. Dignitas just going to get the heck out of A. Rubino needs to set up pretty well here in construction, as Dennis is already spraying down through that smoke. So Rubino knows. He knows.
He's in a good enough spot here. The problem is that if Dennis had just kept going to be a real nuisance, there'd be a man kind of loose, and he'd have had the information. However, he stops and tries to take the fight, bring it back to this 2v2. And actually, quite smartly, Rubino does fall back towards the side. Doesn't outstay as well from there. Going to spot out one. Move forward. Tensky takes a bit of a wide angle on that and actually will get punished. Now Rubino just takes the fight again. Spitty comes back in. A little bit of a careless hold once that plan went down.
Rubino pushed up towards that fountain, and then he had a pretty good opportunity to make the kill, and it just let his aim get away from him there as well. He managed to follow up on Tensky and at least get that sort of trade, but then the jig was up and he was stuck behind fountain. It was 1v1 and the other guy knew where he was. So a little bit average from Rubino, but that's fine. Dignitas have that 9 rounds already on the T side, and they're hoping to add just one more here, last round of the half. Let's see, Nico has himself a Mag 7. 2 Famases for mousesports here as well, and one, plenty of utility to be going on with, so they won't be disappointed with what they've been able to put together here. Looking to get their 6th.
And again, look how adamant Mouse are to play early Banana. Like, they absolutely love going for this. Now, it does seem like we're going to get Spitty coming across early on. Gonna back away. And Dig are doing really well at these splits, actually. Keeping people present on either side of the map, but it's weird seeing Spitty being the one to be the rotator rather than Nico, maybe just pulling people across at this point, as Nico seems to be the kind of like one and done guy at the moment with that Mag 7. And
or none and done.
Yeah, pretty much. Doesn't seem to go too well that time. And again, a little bit overextended. They're buying time, I guess, and doing a bit of damage normally, but doesn't really give you much. And Dennis just steps right in towards Tensky. That means B looks open. Now, Spitty is here quicker than they'll expect. Great flash through. Going to spot the bomb, take it down. Now they can rotate. But by this point, Nexus had to deal with so many players, and he deals with them perfectly. Takes down MSL and Config. Mean they can actually get over towards B. Chris G's going to be on the long, I guess the long rotate now down mid towards Banana. And you have Kiebi and Tensky towards the site.
They have one more smoke left for a CT re-smoke. Kiebi's just set up to take a full aim duel against Chris J if he peeks out of Banana, so that could be interesting. Flashing there to CT again, keeping Nex a little bit quiet. Oh, that could be bad. Like, Kiebi flashed away by Nex in his battle against Chris J. Could hurt, but he gets a little bit of a better position. Dignitas, they keep it together. It's 10-5 at the half and a very respectable total for a T side. And mousesports, yeah, looking expectedly a little bit shaky on this one.
Yeah, they seem fine. You know what I mean? Like, they just seem fine, which is weird. Normally mousesports have some really nice, intuitive, well-placed plays, and you see these individuals looking extraordinarily comfortable. They just don't look as comfortable, I guess, on this one. You know, a couple of misrotates, a couple of overextensions. Chris J being a little bit quiet in regards to his AWP ping in a way. You see a lot of, it's not the most CT, sorry, it's not the most friendly AWP map in the world. However, on the CT side, you can do some work. T side, it's even more limited. So I wonder if MSL's even going to go near it. I doubt he will, to be honest. Maybe once or twice if required. But again, a very good side for Dignitas. If they get the pistol in this, you'd assume they could maybe convert that into possibly a bit of a victory off the back of it too.
Let's see what kind of start these two teams get off to now. As we're just about to jump into the second half. It will be no utility for either team, actually. Both of them just going for armor. So, okay. Full
config.
Full MM loadout. Let's see how
config. What is this guy? What are you made of? I don't understand. I mean,
cheese, just cheese. Gets a second there as well. Dennis falls down. MSL now compounding the issues for mousesports. But Spitty at least can reply. 3 players up for Dignitas. Nico getting caught there between some hay and a wall. He will also fall. Tensky deals with him quite nicely. Spitty now coming back into the action. He always seems to fire up a little bit late in the round. Let's see if he can keep Dignitas down. The bomb is at that hay cart and he needs to approach. He's going to be flanked in a couple moments there. Turns towards it. Does take Gravino very low. But again, 17 health against 2. Going to be very, very tough. But the man, Tensky does finish the job. Config coming out with some nutty plays there to start things off. Definitely took the wind out of mousesports' sails as they tried to punch up second mid.
I don't understand. Like, this shot, while moving, like at the very end of the movement, like hits the other key, but I just don't get it. I just don't get it. The guy's ridiculous. The guy's ridiculous. Absolutely nuts. And the dirty buy comes out from Diggs. You got the Mag 7, the UMP, a little bit more utility than you'd imagine, and then the Tech 9. Tech 9 train for mousesports. So there's a Deagle in there, actually, and a CZ, huh? Okay, not sure why anyone wants a CZ on the T side, but Spitty proved me wrong. And again, Nico with the Deagle, I will never doubt that.
Let's see now if it works out. Yeah, would expect to see a Tech 9 in that slot, but everyone has their preference, I suppose. Who was it? Alex was saying recently he was trying to really get into the CZ play, but he decided against it. Went back to 5-7 even on that CT side.
You have to just put a flusher sticker on it, and it becomes OP.
Ah, I did see that tweet from you, yes.
Okay, who's being the... Okay, so Tensky's going to flash in Kiebi, which should be about now. Get wrecked. Get absolutely wrecked. Nico just smashed all of that plan apart. Oh my god. All right. Tensky needs to buy time, basically, at this point. And if he does, awesome. If he gets any more kills, even better. But this is going to be a bomb plant going in, I can imagine. I don't see any nades coming out early. They don't get it. Nico's doing more damage. That's unreal. He's tagged them up here. If he hits a 1D, this is going to be absolutely unreal. If he can get a kill for free, I don't understand what is going on. He does get taken out by a leaping config. But Dennis, on the flank, spots them both out, but gives away his position. And he won't do too well with 9 HP.
That's 2 for config with a Mag 7. Cheeky. And yeah, Nico showing us a little bit of what we've come to expect from the man himself. Unfortunately, not enough to keep his team in it. So, I mean, we're Dignitas up to strong first half in the pistol. Acceptably, I guess you can see now it's a 7-round deficit for mousesports. Maybe nothing too surprising there after that pistol. Dignitas obviously to get one more here. Nico buying the AK here. So is next. Fair enough. Pass him around, and they're actually just going to force into this.
This is the weirdest buy ever. It feels like someone called it late. And Next doesn't agree. And now Config is confused as to why he can't find his usual bit of prey. But a leaping P90 will do the job just fine. And now Mouse are getting spawn camped.
Yep, that CT aggression from Dignitas. We see mousesports not able to turn it against them or take advantage of it in any way. They actually are forced back, and that's the intent. Get in the other team's head, really to shut them down. MSL even pressing down second mid. He might be jumped on here. A bit of a Batman play from above. Next actually able to get him himself.
And Digger's getting flashbacks to how Astralis treated them. They're like, let's do this to others, guys. It'll make us really well liked. It's just, you know, this kind of like super aggression play where you just kind of like fly around the map, push down mid. Dig do it all the time and it works absolutely sick. And it was kind of like a play out, almost the Fnatic book when we saw it from them, you know? It was just like, fair enough.
Not only is no one going to be handing Dignitas any bouquets anytime soon, they're also only in a 3v4 and then Config just gets pinned to the wall. So this has worked against Dignitas. That aggressive push down mid, turned around.
But do you expect Kiebi there? Like, I don't know if Rabino should be in this spot. I don't think he needs to be. He could just be watching apps, basically, at this point.
Kiebi can be circumvented quite easily, though, if Mouse just press forward into apartments. So.
Yeah, that's why Rabino should just sit back maybe towards quad at this point. But they don't know if they're still here. That's the thing. There's always going to be an issue of it, and that's why Kiebi's watching both angles. He's going to see the step out. He adjusts well on the first. Now you're going to get the lineup. Rubino just needs to play it absolutely perfectly. Dennis is down low, takes the fight with Nex, and that is sadly the wrong target he would have wanted out of the two to get a quick fight towards. And Dig will at least be punished for walking down mid against the T side.
Yeah, very, very strange mid to late round setup there as well for Dignitas, and a bit of a wild swing out from Rubino, not going to able him to get the crosshair on his opponent in the time that he needed to. So, mousesports now on guns, and Dignitas, after all that rigmarole, are on pistols. It's only MSL and config with any armor, and there's no utility to speak of here as well. Let's see what they can do. Let's see if they can beat that thorn on the side of mousesports, or if Mouse will get a couple rounds now after bravely holding off Dignitas in that last one.
As long as it's not like Cobble, I don't care. just don't lose rounds like this. Just don't make it happen. It shouldn't happen. But again, I actually quite like the way Dig are playing some of these angles, like Rubino and Config playing together. MSL, I assume, has a Deagle with armor. Yeah, he does, so he's on angles he can fall back from. Tensky, I think, was the one boosted up there. And Kiebi kind of being like a little bit of a mini bait. Look at him cheating. Straight through the wall there. Gonna get back.
Lauren.
What?
We're going to rile up HLTV like crazy. Our queen has spoken.
Kiebi is gonna just trash. Let's go. Let's go. He's gonna just hit like 3 1Ds. No. Yes. Nice.
That was just awkward to watch, constantly peeking out. Next finds him eventually though. Rubino 1 point of health. MSL a little bit of damage through the smoke here, and Config trying to join in. So Dennis half health, Next less than that. MSL steps up with the Deagle, no good. CZ for Config, slightly better. Gets himself a kill, but there's 3 points of health amongst 2 players on Dignitas. That's not a lot for those following along at home.
I really want maybe like a smoke kill or something, but no one's got utility
Give me the bang
left.
rank plays. Just spam through it. Oh, I can save. Yeah, all right, fair enough.
Yeah, they've got armor on Config, I guess. Brilla's got the upgraded pistol. How much money does the side have? Not too much. Okay, well, I guess. Well, they're not going to do any more at this point, is the point of things. And I doubt they're going to be able to find any kills. Next was a little low, but not low enough. And again, Dig. Just do a little bit of damage, but not quite Cobble standard yet.
Let's not speak too soon. They have a bit of money here as well, enough to buy with.
No.
Not a great buy, to be fair. Oh, yeah, it's okay. Yeah, it's okay. They're impoverishing themselves to do it, though.
So Config saved up to be able to drop the AWP to MSL. So first time we're going to see MSL actually on the AWP this round, or this half, should I say, or for the entire game. I don't recall him
first time.
the T side.
Yep.
So let's see how he does. A bit of a unique play. Going to take himself towards apps. Okay. Kiebi going to be doing the smoke down towards Banana. Sit pretty close to it. I love this boost. I prefer this one to the one being on top of the boost itself. You can just see through a little bit of a gap there. I actually really like that. And again, a bit dangerous here from Kiebi. Tensky's the one with the flash probably behind him, so that shouldn't be too much of a problem. The flash is going to go down now. There you go. Sets up a peek from Kiebi. Nice observing rush, almost in time. Next going to punish him for that one. So again, these sort of like set plays are almost working, but then just not quite. So again, just mousesports responding well to it.
4 plays left now for Dignitas. Most of them stacked over towards A. It's just Tensky holding, and MSL peeking mids by, I guess, got a little bit antsy with that AWP. That's going to go over to Rubino, but I mean, he's on the wrong side of the A side if he wants to escape and save this one if mousesports were to punch through. And a couple very, very average gun rounds from Dignitas here. It's going to let mousesports back into the game eventually. They have no money after this round at all. I can always say this round is worth 3.
I'm not sold on this so far by Dig on their CT side. Considering they actually do play this map and mousesports don't. Mouse are just doing like basic stuff, like nothing insane, nothing crazy, but they're just kind of playing off of what they're seeing. And at the moment, this is a good idea. They're taking B. They took down Kiebi. They knew that Tensky was alive, but he's probably backed away a little here. Again, it's just well-rounded plays on the T side. And I guess if you're a team who's just doing default stuff here, like mousesports are, they haven't done anything like crazily well constructed. It's perfectly fine to be on the T side. You could probably do better here than on the CT side. At least I can imagine they can.
Time ticks down, and it's a sensible 3-gun save for Dignitas as they know that their financial situation is pretty dire. You can see them spaced out over Ray as well. So they've let B, they've let alone, and mousesports lose nothing in that round as well. So they, conversely, have the opportunity at least to start to develop a bit of a bank here. Nico drops though, Config was ready for him. Now the flash comes in, it looks like mousesports want a late round charge. But no, nothing to follow up on that flash. Nico drops. Dignitas hold those 3 guns for now.
I don't know what they're going to do. They're going to try and drop, like, average weapons, or Amazon Kirby going to buy, like, pistols? What are you going to go for? So they're going to drop that out to... Okay, they're going to go for a couple of pistols. A couple of pieces shared out between them. It's a bit of a sloppy start in spawn. They're kind of just, like, awkwardly dropping each other out. And Inferno going to be the one on CC, but there you go. Way to get punished. Chris J has the AWP, and look at this aggression from mousesports. Straight up mid, taking the instant fights. No messing around. That CC could do damage here, but it doesn't. And now it's down to Config to hit every single shot he has in front of him. Great flash comes out to deny Spitty the peak, but there's still 3 players lined up and ready to take his scalp.
Well, it's moments like these where one player could literally change the direction of the game, but for Dignitas, no one seems to be stepping up to that particular plinth. Dennis is going to plant it away. And yeah, T-side AWP for Chris J as well, interestingly enough. Completely wrecking MSL. So, I mean, yeah, Dignitas force up this one. Is it a double eco after this one? Let's have a look at their money. Not necessarily, but it'll be pretty average for them, so we'll have to see what they can do. As Chris J. Chris JW in that position. Kirby now just trying to stay alive as well. So they made us save a Famison. A good amount of utility, plus 2 kits, some armor, and that A1.
Yep.
Better than nothing.
Worthwhile
but
saving.
Yeah, it's going to be very lean times come next round.
Yeah, it's not going to be too pleasant for them. Again, they haven't had like the full buys, like everything going for them in what seems like a while now, which has been an actual big issue. They're always kind of like saving a couple of guns over, spreading out a little bit of wealth, but never enough to actually make a big difference. And that's going to be a big factor in the end of it. Again, you know, if they keep forcing into these rounds to some degree, they're always going to be like slightly lesser on the money, but I guess they have to keep trying to get this one. They are still up 12-9, but mousesports' T-side just looks, you know, basic, but good enough. They're taking the fights and they're winning them. Simple as that.
Well, Dennis, bravely enough, is already working his way down mid. They know that Dignitas have already kept those 2 guns as well, but Tensky uses that gun in particular, taking down Nico. Key threat neutralized already now, but here comes the entry towards A. Dennis does get Rubino. MSL does get some good work done around the corner. 5-7, really getting it done. He doesn't get a third, but 2, good enough for now as we have a 2v2 and Kirby going to be flanking from mid. Now, Spitty has to be expecting this in a few moments, but it's almost as if he's looking towards Boiler, and Kirby just gets a stunning angle on towards Chris. Cuts him down to 1, bomb loose as well. Spitty has to recover that and deal with 2 almost full health players here from Dignitas. Where do you go from here? Straight down.
Again, losing rounds where... Was there 3 pistols then, or was it just 2? So obviously MSL was on a 5-7. I'm not too sure what the other...
I don't know who else bought pistols, but I think the kills was MSL with
3. Yeah, pistols, so right. 3 pistols with armor and a bit of utility, and then 2 rifles. Which is just like... Again, these rounds that mousesports lose are kind of baffling sometimes. It's like they take it a little too hap-handedly or a little bit like overzealous or too into it, and it's like they start believing their own hype and they're like, oh wait, we're still down a bit here. We're still on 9-13. What's happened? Okay, and that was like Cobble all over again. But hopefully for them, as my voice is just dying, they can find the right pacing. And for once, Dignitas aren't instantly challenging on Banana, which is good.
Yeah, Tensky just sitting back here as well, and the Molotov thrown out there with no prior cue or sound otherwise, so Tensky just trying to predict that, or guess at least, and he does at least have a smoke to follow that up, so there's stall available. Note that Kirby also has a smoke and a Molotov of his own here, so he might be Tensky going forward. Kirby will smoke him as he tries to retreat back to the side, but that's not an option there as Dennis does take him down. Now Kirby has to come forward as well. Spotted,
this position.
Tagged up. No good. Next just going to blow straight through him there as well. Now Dignitas having to play keepy up. Next down to 3 health here. Chris J did drop, of course, earlier on, but again, Dignitas have to work this with not too much at all. MSL just trying to shoot through the smoke, hoping for something, but not going to get a whole lot. And Dignitas save on this, yeah.
And honestly, Mitch, like, that B-side has been an actual issue for Dig to lock down. Like the amount of times that Kiebi's been picked up and the flash hasn't been effective for Tensky.
Just sit on the site, mate.
It's actually been a bit of a problem now that they're having, and I'm wondering when, okay, well, MSL has to come over and play babysitter, and how much depth they have to switch up to, because mousesports are breaking through on that a lot of times. It's weird to see that we're seeing so many different players in these sort of spots because, ouch, you'd think that solo players would generally be sitting on that site, but again they switch it up. It's like, you know, sometimes config plays those solo sites, or, you know, more traditionally favoured to solo sites. So you know, things where you see Crims, for example, like on, you know, on B, but he's not there in this map. So it's weird to see that this, you know, Dignitas lineup does play it a little differently, and MSL's got a B spawn. So if there's any opportunity for him to do the whole, all right, let's try 3B, or, you know, let me take B this round with Tensky and Kiebi go A, or whatever it is, it would be this one. So Tensky's the one going to go A. It's MSL and Kiebi to now try and lock down B, which has been a consistent problem. I wouldn't be surprised if mousesports try and, you know, press that issue again.
And let's see if it's just B that's a problem for Tensky, or whether now our weak link has actually been transferred over towards A site, which, by the way, looks like what mousesports initially are posturing towards. Nico's going to be smoking quad there.
It's a flash up mid, so they just rush it.
Straight on through there as well. Tensky around the corner. Tensky goes down very quickly. Again, another quiet round for that man. This time actually just sitting back and letting him come to him. Rubino, smartly enough, actually backs off as well. He knows that there could be an easy wrap over towards CT. Giving ground.
That's exactly what they're doing as well at this sort of posture. At least, I don't know if they're going to actually commit towards the wrap here, but they've got it started. Look at Nico with the bomb. He's over by B by himself, and actually MSL's already rotated, and Dig are pulling all their remaining players towards A with absolutely no information as to where these guys are. Rubino needs to check the site, which he's doing. He's like, guys, there is no one here. Get back to B. It's going to be down to MSL, unless they re-rotate, which is going to be insane, to hold this off. He has 4 players coming his way. Kiebi's en route.
Lingering, he did.
But he needs to land these shots pretty quick.
So important, gets on towards Nico. That's a good start. Flash as well. I'm going to follow up with a second. That's a beautiful hold here. It's a one-man hold on B. Can he do it any longer? Spitty takes him out. Kirby a little bit late to the party here. He lingered for a long time on A, watching over towards mid, and now he's going to have to get himself safe in a good position to hold this one. Or does he snag the AWP and back off? No, surely going to go for it. Flash himself through the smoke. What will he find? Nothing but a hail of bullets. But he finds Dennis somehow at the back of that side and actually gets out. Spitty now just covered in smoke. Can't see the wood for the trees, and Kirby gets him as well. Great retake from Team Dignitas. 3 players remaining. Kirby, 1 solitary point of health, and they get the round.
Jesus. That was down to the wire. And you've got to give a big thank you over to MSL for providing that one. That AWP play hindered everything. Not only did he see the bomb, the first guy who go around the corner had the bomb, hit that shot, done. Okay, you spot the bomb there. There it is, gone. Flash off the wall in front of him, blinds up the 2 players too close to him, takes down Chris J. That was a little unfortunate, but still, that was so good to play.
That was a good start as well, but a lot of work was done by Kirby. They're bringing up the second line, who we were starting to get a bit negative on because he took his time getting towards that site for the rotate, but he did his job. Now, 14-10. Mousesports can still buy themselves up some AKs here as well. Chris J not messing around with no AWP this time. Can't afford her anyway.
Nice. Good little nade.
Straight at the feet.
Alex is doing his crying laughing in the background. It's really weird to hear. I keep thinking someone's like dying in the corner, but no. While this happens, mousesports are going to take some control towards mid. Tensy's going to be able to isolate one. That's actually Chris J. And he might just see that bomb drop off the body, so he's going to have a good idea maybe of where they were indicating towards. Hence why Kiebi is so locked in towards this. MSL's already pushed down towards Banana, and that's going to be a bit of a duel here. Going to smoke that out in the end and hope the timing's on his side. But mousesports still need to run the gauntlet, and Kiebi's having absolutely none of it. Trades out in the end. Takes down next, but Nico picks him up. Bomb now recovered. Tensky doesn't hit the shot on the way out, so now the bomb is back in the hands of the T side. It's down to them to choose their poison.
So Mouse have managed to recover the bomb, but their routes towards either of these bomb sites aren't any less close to them right now. MSL already positioned straight down Banana. Set up there with the AWP. That grenade, if Nico was a little bit closer, would have actually done something, but no, it's just going to explode harmlessly away as, again, it's a renewed push towards A for mousesports here. Slowly making their way forward. It's going to be a deep hold on site for Dignitas. Tensky is ready off the side as well. It wasn't a full commission to B for him. So this is a good position. This could work out an absolute treat. He's going to see Spitty first. Who gets a pick? Wow, Spitty, nicely done. Gets on towards Tensky now, and we have a 3v3. But they're going to keep pressing towards the site. There's still some Dignitas players in the way. Config finds Nico, and Rubino gets on towards Dennis. It's just Spitty. He's had a great round, but 4 points of health is not going to get him far enough. And Dignitas get 1 closer, and we are now on match point.
And they've got enough money to really go for this one as well. On the other side of things, mousesports, this might be like a Tech 9, full armor utility, or... Yeah, it's not going to be a pretty one. That's exactly what it's going to be, the full armor, a bit of utility here and there, just to try and do what they can. And to be fair, Spitty has been having the bigger game out of most people. I'm kind of surprised to see him toward the forefront, as normally he's a quieter name on the board. But it looks like maybe an all-in B play as well. The train is certainly coming through, as MSL can be the one close by watching this pick. Going to try and get it. Kiebi holding down by the sandbags there, but MSL needs to be patient. Flash is going to come, he needs to back off of that. Kievi tries to take the fight, does do well. You know, Kievi's actually landing the shots this time, comes back out with the USPS, but actually MSL goes down, so now they've got control into B. But mousesports going to be a little bit slower to actually make the most of it this time. Tensky's going to be there, but the smoke goes down, sprays in, and now 3v3.
One bonus for the Dignitas players. They're healthy as Config finds a grenade on towards Chris J as well. That's a great way to start things off here. Tensky going to flash himself straight through. He did not see the player on the site. No, it's actually a corpse hit. He didn't quite get there, but there was Rubino coming in from Banana, and that is it. Dignitas close it up 19-16 and then 16-10. A strong performance on Inferno, although we had some doubts towards the end again that Dignitas might drop the ball and allow it to get too close, but not this time, Lauren. The last game of the night as Dignitas do take the series 2-0. Yeah,
it started to look a little bit shaky then. mousesports seemed that they found a weakness in Dignitas when they hit that B site. MSL finally came over with the AWP, but it actually started to work out really nicely for Digvo. It just seemed that the combination between Tensky and Kiebi wasn't really clicking. They were getting outdone a lot. The flashes weren't quite crisp enough.
Yep.
But again, nicely done overall. mousesports look rusty on this, and I think that's not an unfair assumption on their behalf.
Yeah, I don't think it was anything glaring, nothing terrible. It was just wasn't great.
Yeah, it's not up to the other mousesports maps. You don't see like Nico being like a shining star. They don't have like every piece that they have in their arsenal for other maps, so they like to play on a regular basis.
Yeah, both these teams are teams that can beat Tier 1, top teams, in fact, on maps of their choice. Unfortunately, no Dust 2 today for mousesports. We already saw what Cobbled looked like for Dignitas. Not ideal. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a great night. Me and Lauren are going to close off from here, but we are going to pass over to the desk to break this one down. It's been a pleasure. We'll see you soon. Guys, take it away.
Thanks very much, Mitch and Lauren. A nice game to end things again. mousesports seeming to have some problems. You actually anticipated them to take this one after seeing that maybe perhaps the strife that Dignitas had to go through to pick up the win on Cobble. But as they have well stated, and as did we on the desk, mousesports, they hadn't played that map an awful lot. And do you think it was evident in their play? Could you tell just by watching it that that was not as well drilled as their others?
Yes, but I think it's also a case that Dignitas just outplayed them. They had some really cool executes, and then it goes both ways. On one hand, you have mousesports who may be playing too passive at times, allowing Dignitas a lot of map control and allowing Dignitas to basically do what they want. But on the other hand, it was Dignitas who managed to do a good job with that map control, go for a couple of good fakes as well. That two-wave attack on the B bomb site was something that I liked a lot. I think that's probably underutilized right now when they throw the smokes first time in, right? And then mouse players thought that it was just a fake, but then they just add a smoke and a flash and just run in.
It didn't feel like mousesports gave it much time after those smokes landed before they assumed it was a fake. Like they didn't hear any immediate footsteps and immediately were like, right, this must be a fake B. Like I can't help but feel maybe that was also, yes, it was a good strategy, but also perhaps Mouse may be a little apprehensive on that rotate.
Definitely, and it's also a case that Dignitas already pulled something similar, beforehand. So you could see that in that one round, Dignitas managed to plant a bomb with only 8 seconds left. So they were utilizing those fakes a lot.
Yeah, and also utilizing the extended round time. Are we seeing this more and more with these additional 10 seconds in the round? Because I swear to God, the amount of times I've seen literally like 5 seconds on the timer as that bomb's going down, teams are making full use of that new timer straight out of the gate.
I mean, it's been some time now already, so it goes both ways, right? It changes the meta game in itself, because before you could throw those smokes, deep banana smokes, and the Ts would have to react to it. Because if they don't react to it, then they won't have enough time to, plant the bomb in the round, whatever. But now they can just wait, as you could see in that one round from Dignitas. They can just wait out and still have enough time to even execute the fake and win the round. So it definitely changed the way the game is played.
And that is going to be our final game of the night. Any closing thoughts from you on that Inferno game?
I was wrong again. I mean, with Nico, but I'm not really sure what it is. Yeah, Dignitas played well, but definitely Mouse underperformed. Is it just a bad night for them, or maybe they are not? Maybe they don't want to reveal some things before the major. That's only we can only speculate that. But it was in the end a straightforward 2-0 for Dignitas.
It's always going to be that speculation, though. People are saying the same thing about LG. Have you voiced your opinion on this? You know how LG are conceding some losses in the North American Pro League.
wasn't really following it, but I think that it's hard, right, for a team. LG is pretty, has a pretty good standing in the NA side of the bracket, so I think they are free in that sense to concede a couple of games, maybe to, save a few strats here and there, because they are for sure a serious contender at the major.
Absolutely, and you're going to be looking forward to seeing you there. But first, we have to recap what you may have missed. If you've just joined us, you've got North American CS to look forward to, but you do have to concede that you've missed out on some cracking games. We saw Flipside start our day off. It started off right. It was, of course, our... excuse me, the Score Esports Hot Match of the Week. Just 10 rounds for SK, 16 for that of Flipside as they picked up the win on both Mirage and then SK causing havoc on Train with their 16-13 result. And if you just joined us and missed the Dignitas Mouse affair, it was a very close game. Big result for Mousesports in pushing Dignitas that far. It didn't manage to convert it into a win though, going 19-16 in their favor, and just of course that Inferno game ending 16-10. What was your most enjoyable map tonight, Yanko, of the four? You enjoy that Train game? I certainly did.
I mean, Train was fun. Cobbles was also entertaining, although, it was more so because teams were making mistakes. But Dignitas was really good on their T-sides in both maps.
They certainly were. And of course, I touched on North America. We touched on LG. We won't be seeing LG in the North American Pro League, but you will be seeing Cloud9 up against NRG, who of course had a fantastic showing over at Counterpit, which you had the pleasure of seeing, picking up a surprising result against Envy. There's no doubt about it.
They won that bloody war for sure.
Yep. Brah. Complexity Winterfox is the other set of games there for the North American side of the Pro League. But also in Europe, if you're looking for more EUCS, it's coming up tomorrow. And these are the games as they come. It's going to be Flipside again. A lot more of Flipside. They, of course, didn't play as many games at the start of the league. And so you get to see Markelov and his boys going to be playing a lot more in these coming days. It is going to be against Fnatic. That is going to be a tough one. I mean, for Flipside, they impressed us versus Navi on that overpass map. I doubt it's going to be converted into a win against Fnatic.
I mean, we were talking about how teams are preparing for the major, Luminosity conceding a few games. Maybe Fnatic as well, maybe they underestimate Flipside a bit, but the thing is, Fnatic has so much firepower in their team that even if they play a completely Puggy style, a free-for-all style, they still have a pretty good chance of beating Flipside.
And it may not be the Scores Esports' hot match of the week, but it certainly is going to be a hot one. It's going to be Astralis NIP. What a scorcher between the Danes and the Swedes.
It's definitely going to be worth putting your cans in the air for this one, Alex.
Counterpit dank memes all over the shop, but it has been a pleasure, Yanko.
It's too soon.
It is far too soon.
The scars are still fresh.
You're finishing at a good time. This is all right. We are, however, going to be saying goodbye. We have to once again remind you about the Score Esports application. You can throw it on your smartphone and get all the information when we're not on your screen, so you can catch up, but also get previews with articles and more. Yanko, you're going to be joining me tomorrow, but for now, we are going to be saying goodbye. Thank you so much for joining us, and stay tuned for the North American stuff.